thinking carefully of what to say. We did a live last night. We were talking about politics, and I've been pretty jabber-josh and given my 2 cents about politics lately. And I have that right. It's my God-given right in my country and in the United States as well. It's something I've noticed. And I want every single one of you to think about this. Because I'm going to ask you a question, and you are the only one that can answer it. I can't answer this question for you. Your wife can't, her husband can't, your neighbor can't. Nobody can answer this question for you. You are the only one that can answer this question. And we were talking about politics last night. We were talking about, you know, in the United States, you guys got the Democrats and the Republicans. In Canada, we have the Liberals, which are the Democrats, and we have the Conservatives, which are the Republicans. And which we are, and which we, you know, what parties do we represent? And I said to somebody, I said, okay, if you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, that doesn't define who you are. Being a Republican or a conservative does not define who I am as a man. It doesn't define what makes me up as a human being, okay? My life and my life's experiences and how I've gone about and got to this point in my life determines who I am as a man. My political affiliation does not determine what I am or who I am as a man. And neither does it for you. It doesn't determine whether you're a man or you're a woman. But what's happened in society? If I go back and I think about when I was a kid, okay, and I'd look down the street of my parents' house at voting time, you know, and I'd see signs on the front lawns, right? And there'd be, on my parents were always liberal, so you'd always see like a liberal, then the next door neighbor you'd see a conservative, then a liberal, then a couple of more conservatives, and so much forth down the line. But because my parents said liberal and the guy next door said conservative, we didn't automatically hate those people, right? My dad would still talk to Bob next door and go, hey Bob, how's it going? Da 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 da. All right, see you at the barbecue tonight? All right, see you later. The party that you put on your lawn or the party that you back doesn't determine who you are or your standing in life. Today it does. If you'll notice, they've pushed us so far that now being a Republican or a Democrat, okay, people are ready to go to war for this. Not for what they believe, but just for the fact that they're a Democrat or a Republican. What are we doing here, people? What the fuck are we doing? Is it so bad that you are willing to fucking go to war with your neighbor because he's a Democrat or because he's a Republican, because he doesn't have the same political beliefs that you do? We already do it with religion. More people in the fucking history of the world have died in the name of God than anything else in the world. Any other reason. And now we're doing it with politics. We're doing it with politics. Republicans, Democrats, conservatives, liberals, and that's what they want. A civil war. And that's eventually what's going down. If you guys don't see it, you're blind. Take the blinders off and take a look. I'm just a dumb fucking Canadian sitting up here watching from the outside. It's happening in my country, but it's happening in the US too. And there's a whole lot more Americans than there are Canadians. So take the blinders off and take a look around. Stop being so easily led by what your governments are telling you. And that's both parties. Liberals or Democrats or Republicans, conservatives or liberals. You don't vote for the politician you like the most, you vote for the one you dislike the least. They're all crooked. They're all liars. Figure out which one's going to do the least amount of damage, and that's the one you vote for. But you don't hate your neighbor because he doesn't believe the same way that you do. Simple. That's common sense. And if you don't have that, you're fucked already. See you down the road.